Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. And today is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. We are in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions taking control of the price away from the day traders and algorithms. They are dealing with the most money. They have very smart people. They have the best technology, best information. And in my opinion, following what they're doing at the end of the day provides you an edge in the market. So thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I am very appreciative that we have such a great group and so many contributors to the group with poems and analysis and having Steve Burns here and everybody just pitching in and providing what they can, and I really appreciate that. And I hope that by you coming here that it helps improve your trading and your investing. So, oh man, it's been kind of a choppy day today. The Dow, we have green across the board. The Dow was up 42 points, up 0.15%. The NASDAQ is up 54 points, up 0.47%, and the S&P is up 13 points, 0.4%. So like I said, it's been a choppy, sloppy kind of mess today. I think people have a hair trigger. They hear something about the stimulus or not the stimulus, and I think it's been headline driven and news driven because there's been a lot of chop today. So, all right, well, listen, here is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have day trades today. The streak is alive, day 16, so I'll share those with you, although they were not all winning trades, but overall in the aggregate they were. After that, we're going to go over to the board and take a look at everybody's positions, see how they are doing. I do see some green over there. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I see some pretty big moves up, so that'll be fun to get to those. After that, I'm going to spend a few minutes talk about trader psychology, most important skill you can ever develop in trading. Spend 90% of your time on your mindset, maybe 10% on your time on your entries, exits, and technicals. I don't think that's a stretch. I think that would be about the right. I think that would be about the right proportion. I really do. So we're going to talk about that. After that, I've gone down through my list. I've gone through the results of Kamal Scanner. I do see a few potential end of day trades. As always, I have 3 requirements before entering any trade. First requirement, you need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up ideally on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and I want to be in the company with as many other buyers as possible. That's why I look for combinations and confluences of signals lining up. And like I mentioned just a second ago, ideally on multiple time frames. Some people just trade monthly charts. Some people just trade weekly charts. Some people just trade daily charts. So if you have signals coming in on the daily and on the weekly, well, then you have 2 groups of buyers coming in at the same time, and you'll increase your chances of having a profitable trade dramatically if you are in the company with as many other buyers as possible. That's right, requirement number 1. Requirement number 2, even if you have a good confluence, we also have to keep in mind risk to reward is super, super important. When you lose, you should be losing less than when you have a winning trade. That allows you to you can have more losing trades than winning trades, but if you have asymmetrical risk to reward, you can still make money even if your winning percentage is lower than 50%. So that's important. 2 to 1 is my minimum. I want to have at least 2 times to the upside or more compared to what I'm losing on the downside. And then number 3, as always, I know this is a little ethereal, but please keep in mind, how much account heat do you have? How many correlated positions do you have, right? It's very important to have some uncorrelated positions, especially get outside of equities. Have something like gold, bonds, silver. Gold is something I'm looking at today, and silver as well with some crossovers. So we're going to go down through the list, and I'm going to pick out the best ones. And then at the end of the day, keeping those 3 requirements in mind, I will go through with a fine-tooth comb, look at different time frames, think about correlation, look at risk to reward, and then if there's something good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and take it at the end of the day. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please feel free. That's why I'm here. I'm happy to explain or clarify anything anything you need. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, go ahead, just put them in the chat. Put an emoji or asterisk by it, and I will do my very best to get to it before the close of the market. And then lastly, if you have any new additions or subtractions on your current positions up on the board, please wait till after the market closes so I can give my full attention to it, and that way I can get done teaching and trading, and then the pressure will be off. Okay, sound good? So that's the plan. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good chatting with you. Good trading with you today, sharing trades and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate that. Hey, Kamal, by the way, you asked me that question whether the V2 would be on the weekly on box, and yes, that is correct. Actually, let's just look at it because that's such a perfect example. Where's box? When I talk about sideways movement, everybody, this is what I'm talking about. See this beautiful sideways movement that we have here? We're above the value zone. We come into the value zone, sideways, 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 sideways. This weekly bar has washed out the previous low, but if we can turn back around, this would form a beautiful false breakout to the downside and V2 on the weekly. But of course, if we're trading the weekly bar, we'd have to wait till next week. You could buy it intra-week, or you could wait till the end of the week. There's pluses and minuses to each, but I'm sure you can see, Kamal, that we have the low of the range here. We've come back down. If we can come back up and form that V2 in the value zone up against this sidewards motion, that would be perfect. But we're going to have to wait till next week. So, sound good? Okay. All right, CJ is here. Hi, CJ. Hi, Greg. I am here from Eric's channel, Invest. Oh, great. Yeah, I did an interview with Eric over there on ES Invests, and I appreciate you coming. I hope you found that interview helpful. But thanks for coming. If there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Dan is here. Salutations. Hey, Dan. Good to see you, buddy. I almost watched that octopus movie last night. But I was going to ask you, does anything bad happen to the animals in that show? I was going to ask that in the email, and then I forgot. I'm such a softie that if I can't watch a movie where something bad happens to an animal. So if nothing bad happens, let me know, and I'll watch that tonight. Hey, Tracy, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. If Paxton's there with you, please give him my best. Steve Burns is here. Hey, Steve, good to see you, my friend. Always an honor and a privilege to have the great Steve Burns here in this chat with us. I say it every day, but I sincerely mean it. Just to have Steve in here, be able to ask a question And just rub shoulders or elbows with Steve is a great thing. And thank you for everything that you do with all your great posts, all your great books, all your great courses over there on New Trader U. But thank you, Steve. Hope you and Holly and the dogs are all doing well. Quad Racer is here. Hey, Mr. Quad. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Miss talking to you. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, sir. Steve says VIX was rejected again today at the 200-day SMA resistance. I was looking for a breakout for my put options. Yeah, well, let's take a look over here. Yep, there it is. There's the VIX. Look how many, see, it is really having trouble with this 200-day. Fail, 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 fail. Hard fail. Yep, for sure. CJ said, I had asymmetrical risk this week. Oh, you had more risk than your possible reward? We need to switch that around. Steve says, I do have a 1050 SMA crossover signal on Facebook today. Oh, I didn't see that one. Thanks for pointing that out. So let me put that down here. Okay. So we'll take a look at that one as well. CJ says, yeah, the interview was great. The money talks are solid. When you talked about your biggest loss on Eric's channel, how much time did you take off after that to collect yourself? I walked the coast of Oregon. It took me maybe 3.5 months, something like that. I remember because I got home on September 10th, 2001. So I got home one day before 9/11. So I'll always remember that. But yeah, it was just a little over 3 weeks, 3 months for me to walk the coast with my dog. Steve says, Holly loved the octopus documentary on Netflix. It was great. Nothing bad happened. Okay, good. I'll watch it. Thank you. Steve says, GLD has a 520 crossover today. Yes, that is definitely on my list. Hey, Jatin, how you doing? Good to see you. One of the best trades yesterday was PayPal at $200 stock consolidation at the resistance level with eventual volume contraction. Let's take a look-see. Yeah, volume did contract there. Look at that, up 5.64% today. Did you have that trade, Jatin? All right, here we go. All right, first trade on deck. I did take a crossover with the Qs. I bought it here at 277.80 with the 520 crossover. Next day went up. I did take some profits. Next day went down, closed below both the 5 and the 20, which was a warning sign. I sold half of my position there because it was a bearish bar and it closed below both the 5 and the 20. It's trying to be proactive, mitigate losses, but I did keep half and if it were to go up, and it did, had this beautiful leg up here, scaled out, of course, as I always do along the way. Today did hit one profit target. This has been interesting because I hit a profit target, hit a profit target, hit a profit target, hit a profit target. And that's why I like to scale out the way that I do. So I did hit one profit target here at 27.16. So nicely up on the trade. If we get back to my entry point, I will go ahead and just get out of the trade, but it will be a profitable trade still because of all the phasing out. Alternatively, goes up to the 70 RSI, rejects it, I will get out of half of whatever I have left, and then a close below the previous day's low. That would complete the trade for me. But so far so good, and very thankful with these profit targets because we've gone up and reversed, up and reversed, up and reversed. So every time I hit that profit target, I lock in the profits, put them in my pocket. If I do have a move down, it mitigates the loss. But anyway, so far so good on that trade. SPY trade, world famous SPY trade. I do this every day. This is based upon a long-term backtested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. Since 1993, two approaches here that were tested. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it all day long, sell it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return for all your problems and trouble. However, if you do the opposite, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell first thing the next morning, this returned a positive 634.2% return. So big difference between when you buy it and sell it. Negative 13.9% or positive 634.2. Past performance, no guarantee of future results, does not mean it's going to continue working, but if I'm going to allocate money, it's going to be towards something that has good back-tested results. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the same day close. Not even close. If you are considering using this approach, I would recommend two things. One, take a long-term view. Don't decide what days you're going to use it, what days you're not. Just use it. If you commit to it, use a small position size, like a 5% of your total capital. So if you had $50,000 capital, 5% of that's $2,500. You would buy $2,500 at the close and hopefully sell it for $2,500 plus the next morning and rinse and repeat. This doesn't happen very often, but these are so close. I bought it yesterday. These are so close, I can't even tell the price difference. Let's see. I'm going to have to go this way to even. Here we go. I got in at 343.38 and got out this morning at 343.36. So yeah, I lost 2 pennies. 2 pennies overnight. Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Now, also speaking about SPY, I have another trade on SPY, crossover trade that I did buy back here along with Brian at 338.82 with the 1050 crossover. Beautiful move up. Of course, I scaled the entire time up, 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 up. Here, we had moved more than 1.5 ATR from my entry. We closed below the previous day's low. I locked in half of my profits here. And again, similar with the Q trade, hit a profit target here, hit a profit target here, hit a profit target here. And today, right within pennies of the top, hit another profit target. Trade plan is the same. If it comes back down to my break even, I will immediately get out, but it will be a profitable trade nonetheless. I mean, of course, unless we gapped way down or something like that. But so far, the Qs and the SPY have been really good trades with the 520 crossover on the Qs and the 1050 crossover on the SPY. Okay, VIX. I did buy VIX. I bought calls on the VIX expiring November 20th. I bought it right about here. They're calls, so I didn't buy it at 22.44. I bought it at 291, and I believe right now, I was up nicely on the trade, but I believe right now, oh yeah, I'm still up. I'm still up. It's trading at 294. And I bought it at 291, but this is a little bit of a hedge trade, and the 1030 crossover did happen over on the VIX right here. That's why I bought it. I was lucky enough to have bought it intraday. So anyway, so far so good. Now, day trades. It is day 16. I have had 16 days in a row of profitable trades, so it's been an unbelievable streak. Let me take you over here. Interesting trades today, actually. Here's Amazon on the 5-minute. The trade setup was under 30, over 30, plus we closed above the negative third ATR channel. I got in at 31.7460, moved up immediately for me, got to my 1.5 ATR level. Then we had it close below the previous day's low, so I sold half. So I bought 31.7460, sold half 31.84 even. Then I was waiting for a close below the previous day's low, or if we went up, I would change there. But then, like today, it just came right back down to my entry point. So if I move 1.5 ATRs from my entry, and then it comes back to my entry point, I never let that turn into a loss. So I got out here, break even on half, but I locked in half up here at 31.84. So made about $10 on that trade. So that is Amazon. Intel. Okay, so I did short Intel here at 53.65 with this V1 and rejection of the 100-day moving average. We had a big bar down immediately. I was happy to see. Whenever I have a big bar, when I just take a trade and I have a big bar, I always lock something in. So at the end of this bar, I covered half at 53.46. So I shorted at 53.65, covered half at 53.46. Same thing, it moved 1.5 ATRs from my entry, then reversed right back up to my break even point, so I got out. So, but again, me taking profits down here, let these last two trades be profits, even though the second half I had to get out at break even. And the other thing I'm going to point out here is, let me take, I didn't just do it, I didn't just short the loss of the 100. What I did on the 39-minute bar, we were at the 100 moving average as well, above us as resistance. So when I saw the confluence of the 100-day moving, or the 100 SMA above us on the 39-minute, and then the confluence of the price rejecting the 100 on the 5-minute, that's why I took it. All right, lastly is Apple. First trade on Apple did not work out so well. We had this big move up here. And whenever I see big, huge bars up with a lot of volume, I don't like to chase them, but what I do like is if we come back close to the halfway point of that bar, or the 50% Fibonacci will be, I will generally just buy it. That's exactly what I did, because if it closed below halfway of the bar, it's almost at halfway at the bar anyway, so it gives me a really good risk to reward ratio. But this did not work. I bought it at 117.51 and it just collapsed. I had to get out, so I bought at 117.51, got out at 116.99, so I lost 52 cents on that trade. But not to be deterred, here we go. Here's another big up bar. I didn't want to chase it. The next bar went up, came back down right near that 50% mark. I bought it intra-bar at 117.05. If it would have closed at, like 116.99 again, I would have just gotten out. It's the exact same approach as I used over on this trade, but this trade didn't work out. This trade did work out. I bought it intra-buy at the halfway, moved up nicely, rejected the 50 RSI here, so I bought at 117.05, sold at 117.32 half, and then, like today again, we had a big crash down bar back to my break-even point, so I had to get out of break-even, but because I locked in half my profits there, it was still a profitable trade. So, 4 trades today, 3 winners, 1 loser, so I'm happy with that, and I'm happy to keep the streak alive. All right. CJ says, I don't have a coast, but I have Lake Superior. Oh, nice. I blew out 2 months of profits in 3 days this week, so I'm going to take 3 months and do some soul searching. Oh, I can identify with that, CJ. I'm glad you came to that decision. When you have bad days like that, or bad weeks, or a bad string, there's nothing wrong with taking a little time off, just taking a couple weeks off, taking 3 months off, go for hiking, whatever you're doing. But it sounds to me like you need to get some of those risk to rewards under control. Jackson says, yes, holding at 198. Okay, and right now we are at 214, almost 215. Very nice trade. Dan says, Octopus teacher made me want to relate to what others go through and be a little more open-minded to what is beautiful. That's lovely. That's perfect. We should all be like that. Thanks, Dan. Steve says, Spice chart destroyed today. Down 10%. Really? Oh my. Right back there in the value zone. Yep. Wow. 10%. Hey, Frank has a poem for us. Let me get this copied down, Mr. Frank, and paste it over here. I'm a copy and paste machine lately. I'm creating this PowerPoint, so all I do is copy and paste. Okay. There are two sides to a dollar. One for need, the other for seed. Every trader knows it's our job to make money grow. So trade what you know, and soon you will reap what you sow. Oh, that's lovely, Frank. Let's try it again. There are two sides to a dollar. One for need, the other for seed. Every trader knows it's our job to make money grow. So trade what you know, and soon you will reap what you sow. Yep, you have to sow and able to reap, right? Dan says, hand clap. I 100% agree. Freaking awesome. Frank says, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Kamal. Jatson says, went wrong on Netflix. Was in profit, got out at break even today. This line from Julian Komar, only institutions have the power to move the markets. When they change their plans, we have to adjust to. That's true. I love Julian Komar. I love his channel over on Twitter. I post a lot of what I talk a lot about his post on this channel. But I might want to put in there that, holding through earnings, that's, sometimes it works really well, but it is one of the best ways to lose a lot of money quickly. Yep. Gary is here. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Mark, hey, Greg, we'll exit Amazon with the close below 3,200 today. Ooh, it's right there. Will you let me know at the end of the day? Steve says AGQ very close to a 520 crossover. Yep, we're going to look at that in a sec. Steve Burns says, what are you doing with your SPY puts? Seems the market is hung up on the stimulus. Steve says, I may have to roll my SPY puts to next week at the monies as the theta is ticking, the time decay, because that expires at the end of the week. Mark says, if Amazon closes above 3,200, I will sell 50% as MACD is negative and 510 SMA is crossed. Glad to see you sticking with your rules, Mark, on your MACD and your crossovers. Steve says, yeah, Gary, the 200 SMA should have broken if this was all going to roll over this week. Steve says, looks like more time is needed for the shorts to play out. CJ says, JKS got wrecked today. It was a high flyer, but is down 20%. PTON and DKNG is what wrecked me this week. Yeah, it's not fun to take losses, that's for sure. But if I could give a little bit of advice, know how much you're going to lose. Know how much you are okay with losing. And if it gets to that point, just pull the trigger, put your ego aside, and get out. You saw what I did there on a couple of those trades there. I was in the money, right? I came all the way back down to my entry, and I just said, that's my rule. I have to stick with it. Cy Creative Studio. Hey, Cy, how you doing? Thank you, Steve Burns and Greg, for the knowledge you share. Well, you are certainly welcome. You are certainly welcome. Okay, speaking of positions, let's take a look. Brian bought TTWO at 168.80. He bought a half position. It is 165.17. It is down on the trade, but it is up on the day, but it is down on the trade. Intel, very strong. Gary sold puts November 20, 45, 40 put combinations. It's at 53.97. It is up 1% today. So you should be in very close to 80% of your premium. So nice going there. Johan bought Hawaiian Holdings at 13.32. Is down 1.83% today, but still nicely up on the trade. So really good there. Probably be watching to see if we have a close below the previous day's low, but nice, Johan. RBA, Mark bought RBA back here at 60.61 at 61.99, a little down on the day, but still nicely up on the trade. PLTR, David, dang it, he bought this at 9.50, had a huge move up for him, but now it's starting to pull away from that entry point. So I don't know if David's here today, but anyway, if you are Dave, I'm hoping that you got out earlier, but don't let this thing turn into a big down trade. AGQ, Glenn, Mark, combo, 1529. It is at 1574, up 1.55% today. Nicely up on the day, nicely up on the trade. AQ, oh, EN, Brian, bought a half a position, 132.70. It's at 128.21, so it is down on the trade, but up on the day. But glad he only bought half position. Google has been a monster, my gosh. With all the bad news and everything, and it just keeps going up. So Gary, the advanced put seller, sold puts down to $1,200, expiring November 20th. It's at 1608. He has 408 points of protection, so I think that trade's looking pretty well, but you never know. But that's got to be in the 80 percentile, if not more. LVGO, Frank. Ooh. Frank bought LVGO at 132.50. Next day went up, came down a little bit, got a little scared there. I don't blame him with that price action. Got out a half at a profit, kept the other half. It's down 2% today, but it is still positive net on the trade. CRM, Brian bought CRM at 251.20. It is 255.19. It is up on the trade, thankfully, but it is slightly down on the day. Facebook, Kamal is back with the vengeance. So what Kamal did, he did not buy the 520 cross because it was a little extended. He waited for a pullback after the 520 cross happened to give himself a better risk to reward ratio. He bought here at 269. It is 281.57, up 14 points, up 5.25% today, which is fantastic. I was so close to buying this, if you remember yesterday, but it rejected the 50-day moving average, and that's why I didn't. If it had closed above, if you remember, I wanted to buy this, but oh well, that's my rule. Sometimes they work for you, sometimes works against. But congratulations, Kamal, beautiful trade there, bud. Nice buying the dip there, not getting too excited and buying extended, but waiting for the pullback. Match, Johan and Kamal, the dynamic duo. Beautiful V1 here, false breakout to the downside. It is up 5.81%. So very nice for Johan and Kamal. INSG quad. I don't know if you're still in this, buddy. I have a feeling you're not, but I had you in at 1038. It's 997. But please tell me that you got out of this before. I'll bet you did, but who knows. And then Walmart, Brian bought Walmart here at 140.69. It is 144.98, 94. Nicely up on the trade, nicely up on the day. And is that the last one? Yeah, that's the last one there. Jackson says, yes, sir, never playing earnings again. Lesson learned. Well, listen, it's just a good policy. You don't know. You remember Philip Morris yesterday? Philip Morris had beat earnings, exceeded expectations, had good forward guidance, and it was down 5.5%. You just never know. If you're going to gamble, because that's what it is. If you're going to gamble, go to Las Vegas, get a free room, get a buffet, get a free show. Unfortunately, in the stock market, they pay you nothing, no comps for that. So anyway, sorry that happened. Steve says, looks like I'm joining your Facebook party late today, Kamal. Yeah, Kamal gets in early on these, huh, Steve? So, all right. So Facebook is a potential today as well. And let me look back at the notes. $10.50 SMA. All right. So let me put this here for my notes. A lot of combinations of moving averages, and as much as I trade, I never keep them all straight. So I have to write myself little notes. Okay. All right. So listen, before we turn our attention to looking at the results of the scanner, going down through some potential end-of-day candidates, this is the time of the day where I like to talk about trader psychology, how important it is, how it's the biggest skill you'll ever learn to develop and hone and try to perfect. It's the difference between you making money in the long run and not. A lot of good Facebook, a lot of good Twitter channels out there that I like to take a little screenshot of their post if I think it will be helpful for me and for you. And this is from Trading Composure, at Trading Composure over on Twitter. I pull a lot from Trading Composure. He's really into trading psychology and really understands the importance of it. It'd be interesting to know his story, why he focuses so much attention on this. Hopefully he's just smart enough and he knows how important it is without an issue, or maybe he had a big loss once and then realized, that's when you really learn these principles. That's when you hear people tell you a lot of trading wisdom, and until you really go through it, it's just like anything else in life. A lot of times it doesn't make sense, or you don't think it applies to you until it applies to you. So let's see what Trading Composure has to say. Learning to trade is akin to learning to play an instrument. Listen up, Frank. Many will learn to play it reasonably well, but few will go the extra mile to become virtuosos. A lot of people can play an instrument, kinda. A lot of people can golf, hack golfers, kind of. That goes for any occupation, any skill. But he's right. Learning to trade is akin to learning to play an instrument. Many will learn to play it reasonably well, but few will go the extra mile to become virtuosos. Well, in trading, you can trade reasonably well, or you can put the time and energy and dedication into trading to constantly improve and to really become, top of your craft. I mean, I got to tell you, my whole life revolves around trading, as you probably know, right? I'm single. I don't have family. I think about trading 24 hours a day. Even when I'm up hiking, I dream about trading because I just want to be as good as I can. I want to just be the best trader I can. I do a lot of chart study when the market's not open. I read books, and more importantly, what I do is I really analyze my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions. Try to eat well, right? I don't drink. I do everything I can do to just be the best trader in the world. And even with all of that, it's still a challenge, right? So, if you really want to improve your trading, you have, just like anything else, playing the guitar, you have to put in hours and hours and hours. You just have to make the decision whether or not it's important enough to you to put in, burn the calories on doing this. But just like anything else, if you do chart study, you analyze your emotions, you take care of yourself, you replay the day in your head. What could I have done better? What can I learn from today? So anyway, it's like anything else. You have to put in the time. But if you really have a burning desire to do it, by putting in the time, just doing chart study and the other things I mentioned, it will help you. I promise, just like any other endeavor or skill. All right, hold on. Jax just sent me, hey Jackson, good to see you, buddy. I think that's the trade you were talking about. That's looking, Afterpay. That's looking pretty good if I'm reading that correctly. Okay. Where am I? What's happening? CJ says, I have one last question. What would your takeaways be from your biggest losses when you started out? Not sure if you had made a video on this or not. That's easy. I just let a trade get away from me, and my ego didn't want me to let me take the loss. And it just grew into a bigger loss and a bigger loss and a bigger loss. And at some point you start thinking, well, it can't go any lower than this. And if I would get out and then it would go up, that would hurt even more than keeping it and holding the loss. So small losses, that first loss is your easiest loss. No matter what you think, no matter what your opinion is, if it gets to the level where you initially said you were wrong, that's where you get out. The first loss is the easiest loss. Kamal says, Steve, I sold 1/3 today just to lock in profits. I don't like these large gap ups. Greg says, Greg, Facebook is above the second ATR channel, so it's outside of your rules. Oh, okay. I kind of thought it might be, Gary. I haven't looked closely at it enough because I didn't know about it until the podcast started. Jackson, buddy, how's it going? Greg, I hugely recommend trading composure meditation videos. About 30 or so. Probably the best trading meditation on YouTube. I've heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that. Good seeing you, Jackson. Jackson's down there in Australia. Kamal says, Steve, hopefully it works out for us till earnings. I'm going to put the next 1/3 at 299. Steve says, Kamal, 2020 is not the best year for big gap ups. Steve says, Chewy chart broken today. Oh, Chewy? What? Bam. These big bars here, everyone, I'm telling you, these big bars show a lot of distribution. Lots of volume, lots of distribution. This bar has moved more than one ATR, meaning in order to get something to move more than one ATR, there has to be a lot of selling or buying, and there's a lot of selling. So I would not get in front of that. Jackson says, Greg, I sent you a screenshot. You don't have any AU stocks. Oh, right. Right. That's the one. That's looking good, bud. Kamal says, speaking of broken, DDOG, DKNG. Blah, 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 blah. Steve says, Etsy also broken. You know, I was thinking about shorting Etsy. Do you guys remember this? Right up here. But I didn't. I took the VIX instead. Dang. Well, shoot. David, hey, Greg and group. Out in Moab, Utah this week. David. One of my very best friends, you know, the guy who I manage his account, he is in Moab right now in the big RV, all of his toys. You guys should hook up if you're right there next to each other. I've talked to him about you because he's been to Colombia. We should keep in touch by email. Maybe we could get you in contact. He asked about you and how you're doing, your shoulder. You know, he's a doctor and he's in Moab right now. I hate to ask, David, but are you still in PLTR? Oh, so what do you know? Apple went negative again. Oh, everything went negative. CJ says, Utah sounds like a good place to be right now. We just got 8 inches of snow today, and it is awful. Oh, that's horrible. Well, CJ, it snows here a lot in Utah as well, so I feel you. Okay, David, you're out. Thank goodness. Looks like Monday would be just a little bit of a profit. Thankfully. I would feel like I had failed as your teacher because David was a student of mine. I would have felt like I failed if you'd been holding on to this. Jackson says 79 degrees in Australia. Okay, here we go. Let's get going through here. Take a look. AGQ. This is double leverage silver. 520 cross does back test well. Currently, we're at 46.50 on the 5. 46.56 on the 20. So currently this is not a valid crossover, although it could at the end of the day. Gold does have a 520 crossover. I'm not super thrilled that it rejected the 50-day moving average. On the weekly, we are in the value zone, but you know, crossover trades are a little bit more, I give them a little bit of room. Got close to the second ATR channel, came back down. So AGQ I like a little better because it didn't reject the 50. So at the end of the day, if AGQ triggers, I will take the AGQ crossover. If not, I will go ahead and take the gold trade because of the 520 crossover. TLT, which is bonds, my students out there will know. Look at this double bottom. Here we have a bottom with deep MACD bars. We rally, we have green. Now we are lower than this previous low. These red bars are not as deep, less than half of these. So that is a good double bottom bullish divergence, but there's really no trigger. I need a trigger first, like an under 30, over 30, a V1, something like that. So I don't think TLT is going to trigger, but something to look at in the future. Disney does have a 520 crossover. Disney does back test technically positive with the 520 crossover, although the 1050 EMA crossover, oh, are we there? No, it's not quite there on the 1050. So I could wait one more day on that, or I could take Disney with the 520 cross. I do like the false breakout to the downside and the under 50 over 50. So Disney is also a possibility today. TSN is pretty dang strong here. Did we test this bottom? Yeah, we tested the bottom. We have a bullish engulfing bar. The only question here, though, is did we already reject the 50 RSI? Yeah, we did. So that takes it off the table for me. We already reject. I like the bullish engulfing. I like the V1. I like that MACD's positive. I like that we rejected the negative 1 ATR channel. But that's my rule. If we reject the 50 RSI intraday, it already rejected it, I'm gonna have to let that one go. SSRM is a mining company. Did trigger a fractal here, does have a crossover. MACD is positive. It's over 50 RSI, so that one looks pretty good. Box, no, we talked about that on the weekly. YNDX is okay, but I like the others better. JWN, false breakout to the downside, and the V1. This one's not bad either. Sprouts Fresh Market. You know, we've had a lot of above 200, below 200, above 200, below 200. So to me, Sprouts Fresh Market has lost respect for this 200-day moving average. So I'm going to let that one go. IQ. Huh? We are above the 50 RSI, false breakout to the downside, V1 bullish engulfing. Weekly, kind of big bar last week. I think I like these other ones better. MKL, a little chasey, a little too extended. Facebook, as Gary pointed out, the 1050 SMA did cross today. However, it's above the second ATR channel, so that's the filter I have. I will take a crossover as long as it's not above the second ATR channel, and this is above the second ATR channel. So I'm going to have to let that one go. Doesn't mean it can't go up, but those are just my rules. AMC Networks, really big, strong bar today, but just too chasey. If we look over here on the weekly, I may take this on Friday. Oh no, we have earnings coming, so I'm going to have to let that one go. No. Okay, so these are the candidates. AGQ, if we get the crossover, it's close right now. GLD, I'm glad it's off of its highs a little bit, but this one is valid here right now. I'm not super excited that it already rejected. I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. And Kamal, you'll understand. This is a valid crossover. It's a little extended. It rejected the 50. So if I do buy gold today, on the 520 crossover, I'll take a half a position. If it comes back so that I can enter my second half of position at a little bit better price, then I'll improve my risk to reward ratio overall. If I buy the half position and it just goes skying up, I'll still be happy, right? So that's the plan there. Okay, so on Disney, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait one more day, see if the 1050 SMA crosses over. Oh, it's almost there. If it does, then I will buy Disney because the 1050 does backtest better. So, am I running out of time? I kind of am. Sorry, everybody, if you've had questions and I haven't been able to get to them. One 125.72, 125, 125.71, 125.81. So no, we're not quite there yet. If this crosses over, I will buy it. Otherwise, I will pass. I'm going to pass on the 520. Mining company, so I'm not going to buy gold and a gold or silver miner at the same time because of the correlation. We have this big bar down here. We're right at the halfway point. Oh my gosh, I did not put in my orders for SPY automatically. I'm going to have to do this manually. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. And I haven't even done my numbers. So let me do my numbers real quick. And I'm too late to put it in. Okay, so asterisk by there to remind me. Gold, I'm buying half a position. Manny, how you doing, Manny? Good to see you. Apple. Well, there's really no signals at the moment that I see on Apple. None that, are not super advanced here. My best advice on Apple would be to wait for a V1 or a V2 or have the 5 cross under the 20 and then back over. That's what I would use right here, right now. We're consolidating. The market's indecisive. This will break one way or the other, Manny. Unfortunately, we just don't know which way. Gary says, Greg or Steve, is the 1030 crossover still in play on VIX for some reason? Yes, it is. Here it is, Gary, clearly. The pink is above the blue. Jackson says, got to run. Hey, man, thanks. Yes, let's do a Skype call and catch up. Sorry, I've just been so busy putting these PowerPoints together. Ava. Hi, Ava. Gold is it. Good to wait for it to close above the 50 DMA before entering. Well, my signal on this Ava is just going to be the 520 EMA, which definitely is going to be closing over today. So Disney, the 1050 does not look like it's not gonna cross yet. So I will wait one more day for that. Gold 520 is crossing, and again, it's a little extended. It rejected this previous high over here. I like the crossover, but I'm only going to take a half a position. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to buy half my position in gold. Okay, I put that in the wrong account. So let me go back over here and do that again. All right, gold is taken. Now I'm going to buy the SPY at the close. I haven't done this manually forever. Looks like I have about 2 minutes. Well, I'm glad I waited. You're welcome, Manny. Hope that helps. Sorry I didn't have more for you there, but I'm really glad you took a third, Kamal, on Facebook when you did. All right, 1 minute to go. Tell you what, I come over here. I have 15 seconds left. 10 seconds about, and I'm gonna be buying my SPY right about now. Okay. There we go. That's the close, everybody. Well, the Dow Jones down 98, S&P or NASDAQ down 31, and the S&P down 777, $7 or now at negative 7.78. So anyway, listen, decent day all around, mainly because of the day trades and hitting some of those profit targets earlier on. VIX was down. I am currently down now on the VIX trade, barely. 291, it's at 286. But again, I'm going to stay in this VIX trade here until I hit my maximum loss or the 1030 EMA crossover happens. You can see on the VIX we had this big up bar. We are holding right about halfway of that. So, you know, this is to be expected, but we'll see what happens. Okay, Wow. Well, the SPY's up 46 cents after hours already. So that's a good start, but we never know what's going to happen until tomorrow. So listen, if you have any new entries or exits for me today, please go ahead, put them in the chat so I can get them all updated correctly for you. Before I do that, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really like to teach. I think I'm pretty good at it. I've had good results with my students, and I have a really good course. It's 15 hours. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get the 15 hours. I have been trading almost 25 years. I have studied with some intensely one-on-one with some really great and famous traders and coaches like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. In the course I teach, I combine everything I've learned from all 4 of these gentlemen and put it into one course. The course is pretty intensive. It's a lot of back and forth. I teach the lesson. I ask you questions about the lesson. I have you teach it back to me, basically, and then we go through chart after chart after chart looking for a trade, like we're really taking the trade, and I make you play it out and tell me where your exits are, entries, profit targets, taking half, getting out of another half. I think the important part of learning is doing something over and over and over and over with all sorts of different market conditions. And that's what we do. We basically just do simulations after I teach the lesson. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me by email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. If you do reach out to me, I'll reply and say, hey, thanks for saying hi. Let's have a Skype call. The Skype call is free. I promise you it is not a sales call. I will not ask you if you want to take the course. I will not put you on the spot. I am not like that. It's just a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. It's a good time for me to ask you questions about you, your goals in taking a course, your goals and your challenges in trading. And when we're done, I'll say, hey, nice talking with you, nice chatting with you. Think about it. And if you want to take the course, you can always email me back later and we'll get it scheduled. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help keep the channel around, helps build the channel, helps YouTube know that there are some valuable things in content in this. So, all right, let's take a look here for any new updates. So Steve exited his current puts for a loss and brought new SPY weekly puts. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do over here, Steve, is I'm going to update that. Okay. Steve is long Facebook. Okay, I'm going to put a line here, and then I'm going to say over here, Steve at 278.87. Okay, got you there, Steve. Oh, let's put here 1050 SMA cross. Okay. Okay. And UGL, which is double leverage gold. And Steve bought that at 71.06. All right, you're already in the money. Okay. Oh, I guess I better look and see where I got filled on this stuff too. All right, so gold, I got filled at 180.60. And where's my SPY? And SPY at 342.64. So gold right here with the 520 cross at 180.60. And I'm just going to put here Greg 1/2. And if it does come back, I will add the second position to complete my normal position. And if it goes running up, hey, that's fine too. And then on SPY, I got filled at 342.64 on the overnight SPY. So done and done. Okay. Kamal is out of 1/3 Facebook. How should I do this, Kamal? Out of 1/3. And on match, Kamal is out of 2/3. So he's been taking profits on the way up. Okay, fantastic. Kamal, no buys today. Frank says cash, but it did buy me time. Perfect. Perfect. Gary says, I also exited the SPY puts and rolled them to October. Okay, so I will update this here. Hey, didn't I have one for Steve? Gosh darn it. Was it over here maybe? No. I swear I just put that on there for Steve. All right. Maybe I didn't save it or something. All right. Now I have Gary and Steve's puts up there. Gary says, thanks, Greg, Steve, and group. Thank you, Gary. Dan says, someone smashed the like button in honor of our teacher. Oh, thanks, Dan. I appreciate that, sir. Gary says, thumbs up. CJ says, well, it was great listening in and learning some new information. You talk with a lot of composure, which I would like to assume you are a disciplined trader. I hope when I come back in 3 months that I am better equipped. Well, listen, you know, CJ, on my YouTube channel, in the lessons playlist, I teach, I don't know, there's 9 or 10 videos there. I basically teach everything on how I trade is in there. It's free. And if you take some time off, you know, maybe spend some time watching those videos. Again, it's just in my YouTube channel, in the lessons playlist. They're totally free. Go in and watch them. Hopefully they will help you. But thanks for coming. I'm really glad that you did. Okay, so what's happening after hours? Gold is up a little bit. S&P is up 88 cents, so that's good. That's a good start to the SPY trade. and VIX is down 12 cents. So that's, but what are you going to do, right? You got some long, you got some short. Kamal says, CJ, listen to the Greg videos and take his course. It improved my trading tremendously. Oh, thanks, Kamal. Appreciate that, my friend. But yeah, at the very least, CJ, watch the videos. They're free. I don't teach anything in the course that I don't teach there for free. The only difference is, it's the one-on-one aspect, which is helpful for sure, but it's a start. Kamal says, Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone on YouTube and the book. That's true. 100% agreed. If you just YouTube, or if you search on YouTube for Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone, that whole book is there free. And that book is mainly about trading psychology. And so I would highly recommend that book. That psychology book there had more impact on my trading than anything. So watch my free videos, watch the lessons, and read that book. And between the two, I can't imagine it would not help you be a better trader, CJ. Any news on the stimulus or anything like that? Chipotle earnings, top estimates. Tesla earnings are out. Here are the numbers. Oh, Tesla. It's up 3%. It's up $12. Better than a kick in the butt, right? Facebook's up 62 cents. Nice. After hours. Okie doke. Well, interesting day. Interesting day for sure. Boy, Apple really sold off there at the end. Let's take a look at the 5 minute here. Oy, boy, oh boy. Yep, it sure did. So, again, recap, Qs, doing fine with the 520 crossover. SPY, new overnight SPY trade there, 342.64. Also have the 1050 crossover on SPY that I bought back here at 338. So that's all going good. Nice that hit a profit target today. VIX, I'm slightly underwater on this trade. And then Intel was my day trade. Oh, and I forgot, as always, Frank. I don't know why I always do this to Frank. Frank is in Apple at 111 even. Unfortunately, it was up on the day. Now it's down on the day, but he is still nicely up on the trade. Okay. So Qs, SPY, VIX calls, don't have Amazon, and gold. So that's pretty good. 2 crossovers, 3 crossovers, 4 crossovers. The Q's a crossover, SPY a crossover, VIX a crossover, and gold. All right. CJ says, I just have a loose cannon personality and we'll have to focus on controlling that in the future. What was the book again? Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. My best advice for you, CJ, come up with a maximum loss on any one trade. a good rule of thumb for starting, just as kind of a general rule, would be 1%. So, if you had $50,000 in your account, your total capital, $500 would be your maximum loss, no matter what happens. Me personally, I would take that $500, I would divide it by the value of a 2 ATR. That will tell you exactly how many shares to buy. Again, this is in my video lessons. If at any point it gets down below, gets down to your maximum loss, you got to just get out. You can't talk about it. You can't play mind games with yourself. You just have to get out, and it will happen. It happens. But that way, if you do lose, it will be an amount that is not going to ruin you, right? The trades you just told me about, I don't know anything about them, but I know all about them. They were too high of positions and you were on the wrong side of the moving average. I'll bet you that's what happened. So anyway, Mark says, out of Amazon. Oh, you've been in that for a long time. That was a nice trade, Mark. Where'd my Amazon go? Okay. Good trading. 29.61 at 31.86. Let's get a grand total on that. 7% looks like, right about, right, Mark? Okay. I've got you out of there, Mark, Glenn. Okay. It only took me, 3 months to realize that Mark and Glenn, same person, Glenn being the last name. Not as sharp as I used to be. Okay. Better late than never, though, right? All right. Glad Kamal took some of that profits on Facebook. All right, well, I'm going to go for a hike. Listen to some David Bowie today up on my hike. Think a little bit about trading, what I could have done better today, how I could improve. Working on my little PowerPoint tonight, but please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, hello, a kind gesture. If we just do something nice for one person each day, if everyone in the world would do that, it would make a huge difference. And then also, second request, if you could go out and try to do something nice for an animal today, that would be nice as well. Just show a little compassion, a little love, give them a little pat on the head. If as long as it's the right kind of animal for that. Take them on a walk, give them a little cuddle, something. So just one nice thing for a human today, one nice thing for an animal today, and I would be super grateful for that. All right, so I think that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Gonna sneak that one in there at the end. But appreciate you coming, everybody. Really do. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care. Thanks. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.